Well, today's parade day. God bless all our men and women who sacrificed for this great nation. You know what they gotta do? I gotta take that rain cap off because I don't want this thing to be any noisier than it already is. If that makes sense. Which I'm pretty sure it does. So I just got done checking the antifreeze and it's okay. The engine oil, I don't understand why it's making engine oil, but it is. I believe the transmission is right down there. So I better check that before I get too carried away because ooh, I guess we'll just let it alone. If it ain't broke, why fix it, right? Right. So, yeah. Turn the gas on, two revolutions. Pushing it. Like listening to a two-cylinder first thing in the morning with a straight pipe on it, no muffler. Let's go to a parade. Kitty. told to let the thing just sit there and idle because it's too hard on the pony to keep starting and stopping it. But it made it up here. And we're a go. Well, it's Memorial Day and we're none other than baling hay. Or just gonna try. Well, like I said earlier, it's Memorial Day and had fun with friends and family, and now we're gonna go bale potentially. So for those of you that don't know exactly what we're getting ready to do, that hay goes in there, gets sent that way. There's a packing fork in there and it packs all together, gets tied with twine. That's what's in here. It gets tied with this stuff and thrown in the wagon. I hope you guys can see there's a partial bale in there from when he stopped baling before. How it got tied right here, and how it tied it. This is where it cut the slices. This is one bale. This is another bale. It tied it and it made the knot right here. And yeah, out it'll come once we start feeding hay from the feeder house. It'll start pushing this bale up. The belt grabs it, throws it right in the wagon. And then this is a different type of hay that we make, brown bales as well, which I'll show you that baler here in a minute. It's a lot different from the square baler. So I guess I should explain things a little bit better for those of you new people that have been watching my videos or have just started watching my videos. This is what I was talking about. Round baler, same concept as the square balers, the first baler you guys have seen. This has got what is known as the feeder house that feeds the hay up inside the baler, which I don't know how well you guys will be able to see. But in here, there is a drum, okay? And that drum feeds the bale, and as it just keeps going around and around inside until the bale gets big enough. There is a computer inside the tractor, which I will show right now as I'm walking over to it. That alerts operator when the bale is full. So the computer got it on off. There it is, it's on. And then to shut it off, you just hit off. And it signals for when it's on. And then when the bale gets full, it'll yell and scream and say it's full. The bale size is 30 inches. That's what it's set at. You can increase or decrease the bale size with this plus or minus. And by hitting this bale plus size button here, and you can manually, tell it to wrap the bale or leave it in automatic mode and do a bunch of fun stuff like that. So let's backtrack a little bit, shall we? And then that baler, when the bale chamber gets full, spits a bale out just like this. So once this machine, this disc bind, this mower mows it, it's got knives underneath of it that cut the hay. It spits it out the back here. In between them, their rolls, they crimp the hay and it spits it out the back. These deflector shields here, these pieces of metal, keep it in a uniform row, and then we'll let it dry for a day or so. Then we'll take this thing. This is called a hay tedder. What its job is designed to do, what its one and only job is to tear the windrows apart. Okay, so they spin, around a circle.
the baskets do, and they tear the hay apart, enabling it to dry, almost like kind of when you mow grass, you know. Basically the same idea. You scatter the grass out. Well, this is what this machine does here, is it scatters the hay out, enabling it to dry. On the underside, so you let it dry on the underside, and then you go back a day later, and then you tet it again to flip it, the hay from the bottom side to the top side so the sun can get it. Is how this machine works. And then over here, the last step into making hay is finally to rake it into windrows with these hay rakes here. That's what these things are hay rakes. What they do is they rake the hay, and they spin this way. As you can see, the teeth down here. And you can probably get an idea of, you know, of how it works. You know, it takes the hay and it rakes it. This way, you can take that dolly and, you know, swing the cylinder that way, or this way. You can rake two rows together into one row, or you can rake single rows, enabling you to go a lot quicker and more productive raking hay, all while having a very, very slight chance of making sure the hay is dry. You need 5 good days of raking hay, or making hay, excuse me, to get it cut. From the time you get it cut to the time you bale it, you need 5 good days to make hay. You know, and it rains, you know, and you got hay out that's gotten wet. You take this thing and you tear it all back apart again. You know, sometimes you won't even be able to get it raked up before it rains. So, or it'll rain after you rake it. So you gotta take this thing, tear the rows apart, let it dry for a day or two, and then go back and retet it again to flip it back over. And then you take and rake it up again and hope and pray you can get it baled within 2 days, 1 to 2 days of that window, so it don't get rained on again. Because the more times hay gets rained on, the more junky it gets.